This documentary is about Italy's attempt to build a colonial empire in Africa in the 1800s and early 1900s. Italy wasn't a major colony.
Italy needed to prove itself. We were a new nation. We lacked the persistence of Britain and France. Colonies were the answer. Libya and Ethiopia, they seemed good for taking over. This is to unite Italy. Build a reputation, respect, power, and glory.
Italy's leaders believed colonies would boost Italy's global standing. They saw it as a way to forge a stronger national identity, moving past regional divisions and towards a shared sense of national pride based on imperial achievement. But they seriously underestimated the strength of resistance.
The army of the Nile is now well settled in its new quarters in parts of Africa that used to belong to Italy. And the general spirit abroad seems to be that of a large family which has just arrived at the seaside for the annual holiday. But still the advance continues. A large part of our success in North Africa was due to careful planning beforehand. When the Empire armies advanced, every detail had been worked out and timed to the minute. Imagine the timing needed for an attack across this endless waste. From the smoking battlefield, we'll take you across the ocean to Bombay, where our cameraman recorded the arrival of a batch of Italian prisoners. From Libya, they thought they were going to march to Alexandria, but we'd rather have them in Bombay under escort. 4 generals are included in this catch, 380 other officers, 1,000 men in all. Those 8 million bayonets are melting like butter on hot spaghetti, especially since Ferrucci admitted he told a wicked fib because he only had 2 million to start with.
We are Libyans. We have our own history and our own tribes, our own way of life. The Italians came with their guns and their promises of progress, but they wanted to erase our identity. We will not let them. We fought for our freedom, for our land, for our traditions. Even our Catholic ministries worked alongside our soldiers rather than independently during our rebellion.
Battle of Edwa's defeat in 1896 against Ethiopia showed the world that Italian imperial ambitions were far from invincible. Ethiopia's victory inspired other African resistance movements. The defeat shattered the illusion of Italian invincibility and exposed the shallowness of their claims to a shared national identity built upon colonial conquest.
We thought we could impose our identities on others. We believed our way was superior, but they fought back, and the risk was too high. We didn't have much money and land, and needed the land for Ethiopia to plant crops and make more money. We didn't succeed in creating a unified Italian identity based upon our imperial ambitions.
Even in Libya, the Italian conquest was fraught with difficulties. Years of rebellion and fierce resistance show that a united national Italian identity could not be built on suppression of others' identities. Instead, the imperial effort actually fueled the sense of shared identity among the various tribes and ethnic groups in Libya in efforts to fight for independence. This inspired anti-colonial movements across African countries, resulting in successful resistance of colonization. Italy's imperial efforts were ultimately a failure. While Italy sought to forge a unified national identity through colonial conquest, they ultimately only strengthened the determination of the colonized people to fight for their own identities and self-determination. The legacy of this period still resonates today. So, what can we learn from this?